AnnyeongBuzz. Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into everything K-pop, music, stories, and emotions behind every beat. And today, we're talking about something truly special. Chaeyoung from TWICE and her very first full solo album, LIL FANTASY Vol.1. Honestly, I've been waiting for this one, and I know a lot of you onces out there have too. This album feels like stepping into Chaeyoung's own diary, full of thoughts, memories, and emotions that she's never really shown before. So, let's talk about it. The title LIL Fantasy itself feels like an invitation, like Chaeyoung is saying, "Hey, come explore my little world." And what makes this even more exciting is that she didn't just sing the songs, she wrote them, she created them, and she collaborated with some incredible artists to bring her inner universe to life. It's like she's opening a door into her mind, and we're all just lucky to step inside. Now, there are 10 tracks in total, but in this video, we'll be exploring the meanings behind the first 5 songs, because each one tells a different story, and honestly, they deserve more than just a quick mention. So, let's begin with the opening track, AVOCADO, featuring Glico. This song is like the moment you cross a bridge and decide you're not turning back. It's Chaeyoung's way of saying, "I'm already here in my fantasy world, and I'm not going back to where I was." And I love that message. It's so Chaeyoung. She's always been known as the artsy, bold, and introspective member of TWICE, and here she's finally giving herself permission to stay in her own world. The melody has this dreamy, almost surreal vibe, but it's the lyrics that make you realize this isn't just fantasy, it's her reality now. And I want to ask you guys, when was the last time you stepped into your own fantasy, something that's yours alone, and decided you're not going back? I feel like that's the heart of this song. It's not just about imagination, it's about courage. Moving on to the second track, Band-Aid. Now this one hits in a different way. It's about those excuses we make to reach out to someone we probably shouldn't. You know what I mean? Those moments when you miss someone, but you pretend you have a reason to text them. "Oh, I just wanted to check if you still have that book." When really, you just wanted to talk. It's a song about vulnerability, about being human. What's interesting here is how Chaeyoung turned something so ordinary into something poetic. A band-aid usually means a small fix for a wound, but in this song, it's more emotional. It's about trying to patch something that's already gone. And it makes me think, how many of us do that? We keep reaching for what's familiar, even when we know it's time to let go. Then we get to the title track, Shoot, Firecracker. This song is like a burst of energy. It's Chaeyoung's declaration of joy and confidence. She's saying, "I've waited for this moment, and I'm ready to explode." The metaphor of a firecracker is just perfect because it's bright, bold, and fleeting, but it leaves a mark. I love that she invites her loved ones to celebrate with her in this track. It's not just about fame or success, it's about sharing happiness with the people who matter. And that's something I really respect about Chaeyoung. Even as she steps out as a soloist, she's not leaving anyone behind. It feels like she's saying, "Let's shine together." What I also find fascinating is how the tone of this album flows. After the empowering energy of Shoot, she takes us into something more personal and tender with Girl. Now this song, wow, Girl is probably one of the most meaningful tracks on the album. It's like a love letter to all the quiet, introverted girls out there who feel unseen or unheard. Chaeyoung's basically saying, you don't have to be loud to be powerful. That's so refreshing, especially coming from someone in the idol industry where confidence and charisma are always on display. She's telling girls that it's okay to be soft, to be gentle, to take time finding your voice, and that you can still fly high. It's a message I think a lot of young people need to hear, especially those who compare themselves to others online. And I want to throw this question to you. Do you think being quiet means being weak? Because I actually think it's the opposite. People who take time to listen, to think deeply, they often have the strongest voices once they finally speak. All right, now we're getting to the fifth song, and honestly, it's one of my personal favorites, Ribbons, featuring Sumin and Jibin Y2K92. This song is about overcoming a painful past and finding peace with it. The title Ribbons symbolizes tying up loose ends, closing wounds, and maybe even wrapping up memories like gifts. You don't throw them away, but you keep them in a new form. The sound here is more emotional, almost healing, and you can really feel Chaeyoung's growth. I think a lot of people underestimate how much she's gone through. Being an idol isn't easy. You're constantly watched, judged, and expected to smile no matter what. But in this song, she's honest. She's saying, yes, I had hard times, but I made it through, and now I can look back and smile. And that's why I think Ribbons is such a powerful track. It's not about pretending the pain never existed. It's about acknowledging it and still choosing to move forward. So up to this point, these first 5 songs already paint such a vivid picture of Chaeyoung's journey, her courage, her self-reflection, her empathy, and her emotional honesty. And it's only halfway through the album. We still have 4 more songs to talk about that go even deeper into her mind and memories, and trust me, they get even more personal. Alright, let's continue exploring the rest of the songs from Chaeyoung's LIL FANTASY Vol.1. Because if the first 5 tracks felt like pages from her journal, the last 4 feel like photographs, moments frozen in time, full of meaning and nostalgia. The 6th track is Downpour, featuring Kai. And I have to say, this one completely shifts the mood. It's about a love story that's short but intense, like a heavy rain that comes suddenly and disappears just as fast. The imagery of rain is such a classic symbol of emotion, and here, Chaeyoung uses it perfectly. The song feels like that moment when you're standing in the middle of the rain, knowing it won't last, but still choosing to stay there anyway. I love how she doesn't romanticize heartbreak. Instead, she accepts it for what it is, beautiful, fleeting, and real. It's kind of bittersweet, right? Because sometimes the best things in life are the ones that don't stay forever. They come, change us, and then they go. And I'm curious, do you guys believe that short relationships can be just as meaningful as long ones? Or do you think time always determines value? I think Chaeyoung is trying to say that the feeling matters more than the duration. Then we move on to BF. At first glance, the title might make you think it's about a boyfriend, but it's actually about friendship. Chaeyoung sings about appreciating her friends even when she doesn't feel like being social, when she just wants to stay home. And honestly, that's such a relatable mood. I think this song really reflects adulthood. As we grow older, friendship starts to look different. We don't hang out as much, we cancel plans, and we feel guilty for wanting alone time. But that doesn't mean we care any less. Chaeyoung is saying, even when I disappear for a while, I still treasure you. And that's real. It's comforting to know that friendships can still be strong, even when they're quiet. Now, the 8th track is Shadow Puppets, and this one just hits differently. It's so nostalgic. It takes us back to childhood, to simpler times when our biggest worry was whether the sun would set before we finished playing. Chaeyoung reminisces about playing shadow games with her friends, wondering if those carefree moments could ever come back. This song really got me thinking about how growing up sometimes feels like losing pieces of yourself, little by little. You don't even notice when it happens. And yet, songs like this remind us that maybe those pieces aren't lost. They're just sleeping inside us. I think that's what Shadow Puppets means to me. It's about holding on to the innocence we had as kids, the joy that didn't need a reason. And finally, the 9th track, My Guitar. This one feels like a full circle moment. Chaeyoung wrote it about the first time she bought her own guitar and how it became a tool to express her feelings. It's not just about music, it's about connection. The way she describes playing guitar for her loved ones, it's so intimate, like she's giving them a piece of herself with every chord. It's funny how simple things, like a guitar, can carry so much meaning. For Chaeyoung, it's not just an instrument, it's her voice when words aren't enough. And I think that's something all artists understand. Whether you write, draw, dance, or sing, your craft becomes your language. My Guitar is Chaeyoung's way of saying, this is how I speak my truth. But wait, there's actually one more song, Lonely Doll Waltz, which is available only on the CD version. And I think that decision is genius. She said she was hesitant to include it, but eventually did because she wanted a warm ending for the album. It's like a hidden chapter, only for those who take the extra step to find it, almost like a secret she's sharing with her most devoted listeners. Now that we've gone through all 9 songs, it's clear that LIL Fantasy Vol.1 isn't just an album, it's a portrait. a collection of moments, emotions, and memories that show who Chaeyoung really is when she's not performing as part of TWICE. She's playful in AVOCADO, vulnerable in Band-Aid, fearless in Shoot, empowering in Girl, reflective in Ribbons, sentimental in Downpour, grounded in BF, nostalgic in Shadow Puppets, and heartfelt in My Guitar. What stands out most to me is how she balances strength and softness throughout the album. She's not afraid to show her wounds, her doubts, her joy, or her love. And that's what makes this project so special. It's Chaeyoung saying, "I'm not just an idol, I'm a storyteller." I think this album might mark a new chapter not only for her, but also for how K-pop solo projects are viewed. It's not about perfection, it's about honesty. And I think that's why fans will keep coming back to it. It feels real. So, what about you guys? Which song hit you the hardest? Do you think LIL Fantasy shows a side of Chaeyoung we've never seen before? And what kind of vibe do you hope to hear in Volume 2, since she hinted that the story isn't over yet? I really want to know your thoughts, so let's talk in the comments. Let's make this a space where we celebrate Chaeyoung's artistry, not just as a member of TWICE, but as a soloist who dares to dream in her own fantasy world. And that's all for today's deep dive into Chaeyoung's LIL Fantasy Vol.1. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss more K-pop stories, album meanings, and discussions right here on AnnyeongBuzz. Until next time, stay inspired and keep dreaming. Because maybe, just like Chaeyoung, your little fantasy is waiting to be found.